If you live to be, say, 90 years old, have you ever actually sat down and done the math on that?
On how much time you spend sleeping.
Yeah. How much of that life is spent just completely unconscious?
I have. And honestly, when you look at the raw number, it is kind of terrifying.
It's 30 years.
30 years.
3 full decades. That's the invisible third of our lives. And I think for most of us, we just sort of accept it. It's the cost of being human.
Right. It's like a tax you have to pay
Right.
is for existing. Or worse, a total waste of time.
Exactly. But looking at the stack of research we've pulled for this deep dive, that whole attitude is just scientifically backward.
Completely.
Today, we're going to reframe that invisible third. We're not just talking about getting your 8 hours. We are exploring the vocabulary of sleep.
Right. We're looking at how this downtime is actually the engine for learning, for regulating your emotions, for basically keeping your brain from falling apart.
So if you're listening and you identify as a learner, maybe you're trying to master English or you're cramming for a test, this deep dive is for you.
It really is.
Because the data suggests the work you do with your eyes closed is just as important, maybe even more important, than the work you do with them open.
It's the difference between working hard and working smart.
I want to start with that analogy from the source material, the car in the garage one. It really clicked for me.
It's a great visual. So imagine you walk into a dealership to buy, I don't know, a Ferrari, a high-performance car.
Okay.
And the dealer says, this car is perfect, but there's a catch. For every 16 hours you drive it, you have to park it in a pitch-black garage for 8 hours.
And if I don't?
The engine explodes.
See, I'd say that's a terrible design, a huge flaw. I'd want my money back.
Exactly. And for centuries, that's how we saw the human body. We thought sleep was a flaw, a passive off switch where nothing happened.
It's just dead time.
But the shift in perspective is that sleep isn't an empty garage. It's an active, dynamic, biological workshop.
So it's not an off switch, it's a shift change.
Precisely. The day crew leaves and the night crew clocks in. And this night crew has a very intense job to do.
Okay, so let's audit that factory. I want to walk through the mechanics of a night's sleep, because I always assumed it was just a flat line.
But it's not. The literature calls it sleep architecture.
Architecture?
It's highly structured, more like a roller coaster than a flat line. A typical night has, say, 4 to 6 of these cycles, each one lasting about 90 minutes.
Okay, so let's ride the roller coaster. Stage 1, light sleep.
Right. Stage 1 is the gateway. You're in that twilight zone between being awake and being asleep. Very fragile.
This is where that thing happens. What is it called? The source material had a great name for it, the hypnic jerk.
Yes, the hypnic jerk. Everyone knows this.
You know the feeling. You're just drifting off, and suddenly you feel like you've stepped off a curb or a cliff.
And your whole body twitches. Your leg kicks out.
Yes. My heart is pounding. What is that?
It's basically an involuntary muscle contraction. The best theory is that it's an old primate reflex.
A primate reflex.
Yeah, think about our ancestors sleeping in trees. As your muscles relaxed, your brain might misinterpret that as, I'm falling out of the tree.
And it sends a panic signal to grab a branch.
Exactly. So your brain is just trying to save you from a tree that isn't there.
That's actually kind of sweet. Okay, so once I survive my imaginary fall, I get to stage 2.
You do. And you spend about 50% of your entire night here. This is where we see something called sleep spindles.
Sleep spindles. On the charts, they look like little bursts of static. What are they doing?
Think of them as a firewall.
Yeah.
Your brain is trying to protect you. So a car drives by or your partner snores.
Right.
Your brain hears it, but instead of waking you, it fires off a spindle, this burst of activity that basically jams the signal.
It's biological noise cancellation.
That is the perfect way to describe it. And people who generate more spindles are heavier sleepers.
I wish I had that superpower. Okay, so now the roller coaster really drops. We're going down into stage 3, deep sleep.
Or slow wave sleep. This is the basement of consciousness.
And this is the physical repair shop.
This is the holy grail for the body. This is where your brain releases growth hormone, it repairs muscle tissue, it boosts your immune system.
It's also the worst stage to wake up from. If my alarm goes off, then I don't just feel tired, I feel sick, disoriented.
That has a name. It's a very specific state called sleep inertia.
Sleep inertia.
Yeah, think of it like this. Stage 3 is the bottom of the ocean. If your alarm clock yanks you to the surface too fast, you get the bends.
Ah, okay. That explains why a long nap sometimes makes me feel worse.
Exactly. A 20-minute nap keeps you in stage 2.
Yeah.
A 2-hour nap drops you into stage 3, and waking up from that is brutal. You've gone too deep.
So we hit the bottom, but we don't stay there. We come back up and we enter REM.
Rapid eye movement.
Yeah.
This is the great paradox of the night.
Why is it a paradox?
Because if I showed you a brain scan from someone in REM, you couldn't tell it apart from someone who is wide awake and solving a math problem.
The brain is on fire.
It is hyperactive. Your heart rate goes up, your breathing gets irregular. But, and this is the key, your brain releases chemicals that paralyze your body.
A safety lock.
A very necessary one. The Notes called it a hyperactive mind trapped in a frozen body.
Which is terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's where we dream.
It's the theater of the mind.
Okay, let's pivot back to our learner. We promised we'd explain why this matters for, say, learning English. Because we think learning only happens when we're awake.
Right. You're reading the flashcards. But the science is so clear on this. Sleep is the single most effective study aid there is.
That's a big statement.
Without sleep, learning is, well, it's pretty much chemically impossible.
How? Let's break that down.
Okay, we have to talk about the hippocampus.
It's the memory part of the brain.
Correct. But for this, I want you to just think of it as a USB stick. It has limited storage.
Okay.
So during the day, you're saving new English words to this USB stick. Ephemeral, serendipity. You're flooding it with data, but it fills up.
And once it's full, you can't learn anything new.
Nothing goes in. The data just bounces off. This is where sleep comes in. Specifically, deep sleep, stage 3.
The slow waves.
During those slow waves, the brain initiates a file transfer. It moves memories from that temporary USB stick, the hippocampus, to the permanent hard drive, the cortex.
It's called consolidation.
Exactly. Sleep clicks the save button. And this is so critical for anyone listening. If you study for 4 hours but then get a terrible night's sleep,
The file transfer doesn't happen.
it doesn't. And that information, that vocabulary you work so hard on, it's essentially deleted. It gets overwritten.
That's heartbreaking. So the all-nighter is not just a bad idea, it's actively counterproductive. You're deleting your own work.
You are typing an essay and then pulling the plug before you hit save. That is what an all-nighter is.
But wait, what about REM sleep? Deep sleep saves the facts. The research said REM is for integration. What's that?
This is the magic part. If deep sleep saves the individual files, dog, cat,
Yeah.
run, REM sleep connects them.
It builds a network.
It finds patterns.
Right.
It integrates that new vocabulary with everything you already know. This is how you go from knowing a word to understanding a word.
So this is where the aha moment comes from. You struggle with a grammar rule all day, you sleep, and in the morning it just clicks.
That's not just rest. That's your brain running the integration software during REM. The old advice, let me sleep on it, is 100% scientifically valid.
So deep sleep for memorization, REM for understanding.
That's a perfect summary.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the dreams themselves.
Right. Why do we dream? I think most people still have that old Freudian idea that dreams are wish fulfillment.
Repressed desires thing. Yeah, and while Freud was a pioneer, modern neuroscience has sort of moved on.
Yeah, my recurring dream about being late for an exam I didn't study for is definitely not a secret wish.
I would hope not. No, modern science leans towards more functional theories. The first is overnight therapy.
Okay. How does that work?
During REM sleep, a key stress chemical in your brain, noradrenaline, is completely shut off. It's the only time in a 24-hour cycle you are free of this anxiety molecule.
So it's a chemically safe space to process difficult emotions?
Exactly. You replay the emotional memories, but without the chemical panic. It strips the memory of its sharp edges. It turns a hot memory cold.
And the second theory, this one felt a little sci-fi. Threat simulation.
This is the evolutionary take. It says dreams are a virtual reality simulator, a fire drill for survival.
So thousands of years ago, we dreamed of being chased by lions to practice getting away.
Precisely. And today, we don't have lions, so we dream about social threats.
Showing up naked to a presentation.
Failing a test, missing a flight. These are modern deaths. Your brain is running simulations so you're better prepared to handle the anxiety if it happens for real.
My brain isn't torturing me, it's training me.
It's trying to make you resilient.
What about lucid dreaming? That's where you know you're dreaming, right?
Yes, you become aware that you're in the dream. And with practice, you can actually take control of it. You can fly, change the scene. It's the ultimate sandbox.
So we have this incredible biological superpower. It repairs us, saves our memories, connects our ideas, and trains us for threats. And yet,
Hmm.
We're terrible at using it.
We really are. We're in a global sleep loss epidemic.
It's the hustle culture, isn't it? I'll sleep when I'm dead.
That's the one. We wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, but the irony is that a lack of sleep will get you to dead much faster.
The consequence that shocked me was the comparison to alcohol.
It's a standard metric.
Yeah.
If you're awake for 19 hours, your cognitive impairment is the same as someone who is legally drunk.
So driving home after a really long day is like driving drunk.
Your reaction time is just as bad. And emotionally, it's even worse. Sleep deprivation severs the connection between the logical part of your brain and the emotional part.
The CEO and the toddler.
Right. And the toddler, the amygdala, becomes 60% more reactive.
It's steeper.
This is why tired people are cranky. You lose emotional control. It's all gas, no brakes.
Okay, we need to fix this. Let's run through the practical sleep hygiene tips.
Number one is light. Specifically, the blue light from our screens.
Our phones, our TVs.
To your brain, that blue light is indistinguishable from the midday sun. So if you're scrolling at 11 p.m., you're telling your brain it's noon.
And it shuts down melatonin production.
Exactly. You're holding the gate closed on sleep. So rule one, kill the screens an hour before bed.
Okay, rule 2.
Regularity. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day.
Even weekends.
Especially weekends. When you sleep in late, you give yourself social jet lag. Your Monday morning alarm feels like 4 a.m. to your body.
That explains a lot. Okay, what's next?
Temperature. Your body needs to drop its core temperature to initiate sleep. So keep your room cool.
What's the magic number?
Around 18 Celsius or 65 Fahrenheit.
That's pretty cold.
It is, but it works. And the final villain, caffeine. It's just chemistry. Caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. So a 4 p.m. coffee means half that caffeine is still in your brain at 10 p.m.
So you might fall asleep, but the quality is wrecked.
You won't get that deep, restorative stage 3 sleep. The save button never gets clicked.
Okay, so the protocol is a dark, cool room, a strict schedule, and a caffeine curfew.
Noon is the gold standard for your last coffee.
When you put it all together, the payoff for our listeners trying to learn something new is just massive.
It is. I want to leave them with this image. Think of sleep as your passive tutor.
A tutor that works for free. I like that.
While you are lying there, this tutor is organizing your vocabulary. It's solidifying grammar. It's connecting the dots on things you struggled with.
All you have to do is show up.
You just have to show up and let the process work.
Yeah.
We need to stop seeing sleep as closing our eyes and start seeing it as opening the door to a smarter, healthier version of ourselves.
That's the whole shift. The all-nighter isn't dedication. It's self-sabotage. It's hitting the delete key on your own hard work.
You wouldn't throw your notes in the trash, so don't throw your sleep away.
Exactly. So, for everyone listening, maybe the most productive thing you can do right now is go to bed.